You have to feel it to heal it. So today is day one of my series, Feel It to Heal It. And today we're talking about why you must feel to heal. I'm Mary Michelle Nidifer, Master Style and Empowerment Coach for midlife women who are done feeling stuck, done feeling like they're on autopilot, done feeling like they're in survival mode. But today I wanted to talk about this. This is such an important topic. And I did a live last week that had so much attention, so many comments, so many women reaching out saying, oh my gosh, I need to know more. This is so important. This helped me so much. And so I really wanted to teach you a method that I've been using myself. Now, before I get started, I do want to share with you, this is something that what I'm teaching you today is called the Emotional Reset Method. Now, today I'm going to teach you step one. So I'm going to do a series because I really want you to get this. It's not something I can just share quickly and easily. I want to walk you through it. But I want to share this because, first of all, I struggled. I'm a highly sensitive midlife woman. I have been in survival mode in the past. I have felt numb. I have felt stuck. And I have been triggered by a lot of things over the years. But I also was taught, don't show your feelings. Don't express your emotion. And so I was walking around feeling for a long time like there was something wrong with me. And honestly, I felt like my emotions were ruining my life. Even after I got married for the second time, we had some challenges. And I think the past 5 years have been pivotal for me personally because I have learned to master, maybe not master, still working on that, but learn to manage my emotions. I don't know if we ever can actually master our emotions, but I know for sure that we can learn to master our emotions. And I think now is the time to be talking about this topic because we as midlife women, we're not taught that it's okay to feel our feelings. Was anybody taught that it's okay to cry? I think most of us were told, don't cry. It's okay. Stop crying. Here's some tissues. Take a breath. It's all right. It's like we see somebody crying and our reaction can be, oh my God, like they have to stop right now. We have to help them to stop crying. And I think that's a trigger because we were taught that it's not okay. We were taught that it's not okay to feel our feelings. We were taught that it's not okay to get mad or be sad or feel the depth and the breadth of our feelings. But the truth is, as women, it's part of who we are. And so I wanted to share a simple and powerful way to shift out of stress, out of reactivity, out of shutdown, and find your way back to clarity, to calm, and to peace. Who's with me? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're with me and you're ready for it. Now you may want to take some notes. That's okay. So go grab a notebook. This is not going to be a real long live, maybe 20, 30 minutes tops. But I really want to share this. I haven't actually shared this live, but this is something that I remember, 5 years ago, I was really triggered by something. And I took myself through this process that had been kind of coming together over the past few years before that. And I remember talking to my husband, I was really upset about something, and I called him, and then I was like, okay, I need to go just chill out. Good morning. You're born in the late 50s. Born in the late 50s, a teen in the 70s, and my dad would get upset if I cried or showed emotion, so I learned not to show emotion. Girl, same. It wasn't safe, right? I think I'm the same. I think my emotions ruin my life and feel like it holds me back from being able to do things. Who else feels like this? We are not alone. If you feel that, ladies, you are not alone. I think this affects, my estimate, not based on anything except what I know, is probably at least 80% of women, not just here in America, but worldwide. I think that our emotions are a problem, or at least perceived to be a problem for a lot of people. But the real problem comes when we don't feel them. So let me share what I mean by this. So we as midlife women, not only were we not allowed to feel our feelings, right? So first of all, we feel our feelings and then people shut us up, shut us down. Don't do that. Don't feel that. And so we're left feeling all the stuff. But then we get to be an adult and we have our own space and then we have our own relationships and nobody's there to tell us not to feel it. But then we don't know how to feel our feelings. We don't know what to do with these feelings because they're going to come up, right? And so what do? We stuff them. We stuff them. We stuff them down because we were raised in a society that values performance. It doesn't value presence. Be the good girl, look at your sister, look at this, be more like her. We were not taught that we are valuable. We are not taught that our emotions are valuable. We were taught to be pleasers, not processors. We were taught to be polite, but not powerful. And we were taught to be perfect, not present. And where did this get us, ladies? Where has this gotten us? It's left us disconnected. It's left us numb. It's left us in survival mode, struggling, trying to do all the things, be all the things. And we're like, we don't even know who we are anymore. It's left us, stressed out, frazzled, because we were told to calm down, stop crying. What's something you were told when your emotions came up? What is a phrase that was used for you? What is something that you heard? Calm down, stop crying, be a good girl, don't make a scene. Don't make a scene. Don't you dare. Don't draw attention to yourself. We don't want other people talking. I don't know why I'm sweating. I'm starting to sweat. That's okay. Don't make a scene. We don't want other people talking about us. What are other people going to say about you? Oh, that was the big concern. What are other people going to say? What are other people going to say? Maybe they should feel their feelings too, right? So the message was clear. Your emotions are inconvenient. They're shameful. How dare you make a scene? How dare you cry? How dare you get mad? Right? And we were labeled as too much. Don't raise your voice. Exactly. Don't raise your voice. Don't be too loud. Be nice and quiet. Be a good girl. Be a good girl. I think I shared the other day, I caught myself saying that to my dog the other day. You're such a good girl. And I was like, ooh, I don't know if I like the term good girl. I need to find something different for her. Why not crying? You've got nothing to cry about. No, I'm not crying. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I went for a power walk this morning and then I took a shower, and I am blessed with a lot of thick hair, and sometimes after I take a shower, I sweat. So I'm not crying, I'm sweating. But if I needed to cry, trust me, I would be crying. I would let it out. Y'all would see me cry. But we learned to silence our emotions. We learned it was not safe to let our emotions out. We armored up to survive. But decades of suppressing our feelings doesn't make them disappear. It simply buries them. Oh, that was told to me. Oh, why are you crying? Yeah, okay. That was told to you. Yeah, why are you crying? You got nothing to cry about. Yes. Yeah, for sure. And it can leave us feeling ashamed, embarrassed, that it's not okay, hiding. Oh, let me go cry in private. Like, nobody can see me cry. And it doesn't mean that we necessarily want to go out and, be crying in public, but time and place. But when we feel our feelings, like allowing ourselves to actually feel it. We might not do it in the moment, but when we can come back and say, okay, let me work through this. But we're going to talk about this. But I really want to make it clear why this even matters. Why we need to unravel and really unhook from this toxic thought, from this toxic behavior. Our not honoring our emotions we're self-abandoning. And it's interesting. I actually had a great VIP day with a client on Saturday. And we were talking about emotions, and she was sharing this. She was sharing that she wasn't allowed to express her emotions, that she was taught to be a good girl, that she was taught to, what is everybody else going to think? And it left her striving for some, put her on this path to just bypassing her emotions. Bypassing her emotions. Has anybody done that? The emotional bypass? Like, Can't feel that. Let me just move on. But what happens? What do? We numb out. Ooh, alcohol, wine. Let me have another glass of wine. Had a rough day. A couple of glasses of wine will fix that, right? And then you don't have to think about it anymore. Not true. Not true. I want you to think about this. Think about a stuffed animal. I think we as midlife women, this is a really good analogy. Think about a stuffed animal that is like overstuffed. He's overstuffed, and then he starts to get some holes. He's just, a little older. He's been through some stuff, and he starts to his stuffing starts to come out. But we're trying to like shove the stuffing back in. We're putting more stuffing in. We're like, oh, he just needs some more stuffing. We're not patching the holes. We're just trying to put more stuffing in. Well, he has no more room for stuffing. It's already coming out. He's already overstuffed as it is. Sometimes those animals are like stuffed so tight when they get a hole, it's just like, and there's no going back. There's no going back. It's like it's vacuum sealed or something. And there's no going back, but we're trying to put more stuffing in. There's no more room for stuffing. There's no more room for trapped emotions. And what we resist persists. It comes out sideways. It comes out sideways. And so it leaves us disconnected from our own bodies, scrolling, eating junk food, glass or two of wine, online shopping, all to distract. Exactly. We're disconnected from our own bodies. We're constantly apologizing. We're overwhelmed by tiny triggers. When we're holding so much in, our capacity is limited. And then one little thing happens, it's like, ooh, we're like that glass that's overfull already. You can't put another drop in. There's no more room. There's no more room. And so if somebody else puts another drop in, and another drop, and another drop, and it's just a tiny little drop, it's gonna spill out. It's gonna spill out. It's gonna come out, right? It's that one little thing, and then you snap. You snap at somebody, or you cry, or you just yell at somebody you didn't mean to, or you just let it out. You let somebody have it. In public, in private, it could be, the sales clerk. Have you ever seen anybody? Sadly, there's somebody who is not really in my life right now, but that I know has never really felt their emotions, and they have made a scene publicly because they're so pent up, they're so bottled up. They just unleash, and they unleash on the cashier at a restaurant or a store, or they unleash in public. Somebody on the phone, you're trying to call your phone company, you're trying to call somebody, and it just unleash. This is where it starts to come out. And so when we're hit with a trigger, we can't handle it because we're already over capacity. It can lead us to apologizing, and it can leave us, as you mentioned, numbing with food, with wine, with work, with scrolling, with shopping, with, you name it. It could be anything. But here's the sad truth. Numb becomes our new normal. Numb becomes our new normal. Our new normal. Numb. Who's felt like that? I feel like I've talked to a lot of women. I've worked with a lot of women recently who have come to me and they're like, I just feel numb. I'm just meh. I'm just meh. I'm not bad, but I'm not great. I'm just going through the motions, just existing. Just feel like I'm on autopilot or in survival mode. And you feel like you become invisible. You're like, what's wrong? Is it my gray hair? What is it? Yeah, definitely. It can lead to struggles in relationships because either you're insecure about yourself, or you become reactive, or your husband says something, or your partner says something, and it hits you the wrong way, and you just snap. And then they get mad, and then it's just a back and forth. It's just a downward spiral. It can lead to holding on to chronic fatigue, tension, anxiety. I know for me years ago, it was adrenal fatigue. It was not good. It was not good. It was my body saying, okay, no more. You have to stop this. This needs to be dealt with. Our bodies will let us know. Our bodies can only take so much. Our bodies are strong, powerful tools. But that sounds like me and my hubby. Well, there is hope. There is hope. And I hope, this is why I want to share this, because I think just helping you understand what is happening. We're not taught about our emotions. There's so many things. Tell me this. There's so many things, if you agree with this, there's so many things I know as an adult. I'm like, why were we not taught this in like first grade? Why were we not taught this? He can say such a small thing and I'm bawling. Yeah, we're reactive. Yeah, that's a sign. That is a sign. It's a thing. And then he probably either feels guilty or he feels bad or he gets mad, or like he probably has because men don't really understand what to do. And then I'm sure they feel bad. And if sometimes when men feel bad, they act, it's a whole thing. But our emotions, it's not for women. It's not for all people, really. It's not just emotional. When it gets trapped, it becomes physical. It becomes physical, and it can manifest in a lot of ways. It's spiritual, and it's generational. It's generational. It's taught. Think about it. We were taught to be subservient. Our moms were taught to be, we're considered subservient. Exactly. I think that's a big part of it. It's frustration on my husband's part. Yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it. But it's generational. And what are we teaching our daughters, our granddaughters, our friends, our sisters? What are we teaching? We get to change the narrative, and it starts with changing ourselves. We get to change humanity as a whole, and it starts with ourselves. There's one great quote from Gandhi, and it's, be the change you want to see in the world. When we change ourselves, that can create a ripple effect. And when we are aware, awareness is the first step to change. And so understanding what is actually happening. But when we struggle with managing our emotions, when we suppress our emotions, it affects our families, our communities, our careers, our health, our legacy. It affects everything in our lives. Because when women don't feel safe to feel, they don't feel safe to lead. They don't feel safe to step up. They don't feel safe to live their lives. They don't feel safe to ask for what they want. They don't feel safe to do what they want to do in life. And when we don't feel our truth, we don't speak it. And when we don't speak it, the world never gets to hear it. It's like we don't exist. We've made our own selves invisible. We've made ourselves invisible. But the beautiful truth is that healing is absolutely possible, and feeling is the portal. Now, I want to just say this. I think when you start talking about feelings are something I've been dealing with for my entire life. We all have on some level. We all have. But I think as someone who has been highly sensitive for all of my life, and being taught, like understanding and learning how to feel my feelings is transformative. It has transformed my relationships. It has transformed my success. It has transformed how I look, how I carry myself, how I feel. It has transformed my confidence. I think one of the fastest ways we undermine our confidence is by not allowing our feelings. Because think about it. What are we doing? We're sending the message silently that we don't matter. Well, come back and watch the replay for sure. Come back and watch the replay. But when we don't honor our feelings, we're sending the message that we don't matter. All right, I need to get a fan for in here. Oh, I'm going to look like I just stepped outside. So what happens when we don't feel? When we don't feel our feelings, what happens to them? Do they just disappear? No, they don't just disappear. They get stored in our body. They create chronic stress, disease, conflict in relationships, burnout, and a deep sense of meh. A deep sense of mid. Surviving. I've been joking saying we're going to take the mid out of midlife, right? Because teens use the word mid, kind of like meh. It's like mid. We're taking the mid out of midlife. But it's like you're just going through the motions. I know for me, when I've experienced this, I have those days. I don't know what it is you say to yourself, but for me, it's like, I just can't. I just can't. I just can't pick my clothes up today, put my clothes away. I just can't, return a text message. I just can't do the dishes. It's like I just I've gotten in this funk. It's been a long time since I felt that way. But I remember saying that to myself. I'm like, that's what happened with me. And that was my sign that like, ooh, okay, we need to do a deep dive. So let's talk about what changes when we do start to feel our feelings. But what I wanted to say is that feeling our feelings can be scary. It can feel scary to think about allowing ourselves to feel our feelings. But I just will say this. Once you do it and you learn how, you will never go back. Because the difference is your peace, your truth, your honoring yourself. And once you learn how to do it in a way that is safe, that you're safe, in a way that is, what's the word I'm thinking of besides safe? That in a way there is a structure around it. It puts you in control. It puts you in control because you have a framework, you have a structure to work through, and you will know what to do. It can be really scary to feel our feelings. It's like, ooh, once we unleash that beast, it's like, there's no going back. I worked with a client recently and she was terrified to feel her feelings, but she had bottled them up for many years. And once she unleashed them, she was like, ooh, I'm afraid of what's going to come out, but I'm tired. The pain got so bad that she didn't care. But the truth was, it wasn't that painful. She felt it for a couple of days, and then she moved past it. And she moved past it very quickly after struggling for 40 plus years. Very quickly. And it doesn't mean things won't come up, but now she has tools in her toolbox. Now she knows how to process it. And so if you're like, oh, I'm not going to feel my feelings, because once you open that Pandora's box, like, trust the process. I invite you to trust the process, because I felt that way, but I also got so fed up. I'm like, I can't live like this anymore. I can't bottle it up. I cannot keep going the way I'm going because it is going to kill me. And I want to be here. And so I allowed it, and I trusted the process, and I worked through it. And now I'm here to teach you about it. So what changes? Let's talk about what changes. So the emotional reset method, this is the method that I created, that I've used on myself for years to de-escalate emotions, to calm down. Like, when something happens. So what happens? Like something triggers us. Does it just happen and then we feel angry or sad or scared or mad or whatever, and then we just crush it and it just goes away? No, our brain picks it up and it's like, ooh, okay, we're gonna play that. We're gonna play that tape and replay it on repeat for a while, and it's gonna keep slapping us in the face. It's like it just keeps slapping us in the face, and we feel the thing that person said. We feel what their reaction was. We feel that nasty email or that. And honestly, sometimes a lot of times we misinterpret things, right? It's our filter. But we feel it, and it's like we're just getting slapped in the face over and over and over again. And it can be really it's like we're just gluttons for punishment. We're like, ooh, okay, but I'm not really feeling it, but we're going to continue to feel it. But let me go get another glass of wine. Ooh, let me get on the internet. Let me scroll. Let me go scroll Instagram. And so we're just making it so much worse by telling ourselves we can't feel it. Instead, if we can do this one thing, and I'm only going to share step 1 today. This is a 4-step process, and it's very simple. But I'm only going to share step 1 today. But when we can start to do this one thing, it takes the power of our emotion away. It lessens it. Because when we feel it, it's like, this big scary thing in the room, and we want to hide from it. Don't hide from it. allow it. Emotions want to be felt. And when they come up, and we can say, hey, pull up a chair. Let's chat. What's up? What's new? What's happening? Let me get to know who you are. Because the known is far less scary than the unknown. And once we can really learn what this emotion is and what its name is, we take the power away. And so step number 1 of the emotional reset method, name it. Name it. When we put a word to what we're feeling, like anxious, angry, disappointed, we shift from being in the emotion to witnessing. Witnessing. We're like, oh, okay, now I'm just noticing that I'm feeling anxiety. Now I'm just noticing. This is exactly what happened with me last weekend. When I was in the emotion, I was talking to this person and having this exchange, and some things were said that in the moment I was like, ooh, I don't know if I really like that, but I'm not really, like, I needed to step away to process it and really understand what was happening. And when I could step away, I'm like, ooh, okay, how did I feel? That's the first thing I did. How did it make me feel? It made me feel disrespected. It made me feel like you don't care about me. So uncared for. It made me feel angry. Well, I think what made me feel angry was feeling disrespected. But the real root emotion I felt was disrespected. And it scared me. I was like, what is happening? What is happening? But when I could put a word to it, I'm like, okay, now I have clarity. And clarity is power. Clarity is power. Naming it creates safety. This is the first thing our bodies need to feel like it's okay to feel this. Because what is unnamed is unsafe. Our body, what is unnamed is unsafe. When we can name it, it creates safety. Okay, like I said, the unknown is far scarier than the known. Now we know what this is. Oh yeah, okay, come on in. I know you. I know you. Have a seat. Let's chat. When we can welcome it and say, okay, here's where we get it wrong. We try to push it away. We're like, no, I can't feel that. I'm bad if I feel that, or I'm wrong if I feel that. But the truth is, it's part of us. It's part of us. And when we can name it, it's like, okay, that's a piece of me. That's a piece of me. And it's all good. The world's not going to end. I'm not going to fall over. Things go on. It's all good. When you can name what you're feeling and give it space, it starts to move. It starts to dissipate. And when it moves, you start to feel free. Naming it can bring us back to the present. Unfelt emotions swirl in the background. It's like this big amorphous thing. We don't know how big it is. We don't know what color, we don't know what it is, what it looks like, what its name is. And it can swirl in the background, and it will hijack our thoughts, our behavior, our energy. Think about it. When's the last time something happened to you? And this tape runs, and it runs on repeat. I can't believe she said that to me. I can't believe she said that to me. You know, and it's just like we continue to get ourselves slapped in the face by our thoughts. And it becomes painful. And we just let it happen. But when we can name it, we're like, you know what? When she said that, I felt really angry. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. It affirms our inner truth. Many of us were told you're too sensitive, you're overreacting, and naming it, naming what you feel is an act of self-validation. It says my emotions are real and my experience matters. And this is such a huge step. At 72, I'm finally facing my emotions and allowing myself the freedom of being me and not worrying. It feels so freeing. You go, girl. This is why I say you're never too old to change something. So many people say, oh, I'm too old to learn new. Girl, I'm 57. I learn new things every freaking day. And that's just how I'm wired. I'm like, ooh, what else can I learn? What can I learn? Some things are more challenging than others. Hello, technology. But that's okay. We can learn new things. It doesn't matter how old we are, where we are in our journeys. I wish I had known this sooner. Absolutely. I wish I had known this when I was in my, younger than 10. I wish I had been taught this. I wish they taught this in kindergarten. I wish they taught kids this. I wish they taught teens this. I wish they taught everybody in the world this. But when we honor, when we name it, it brings us back to the present. It affirms our truth. It allows the emotion to move. Because unfelt emotions, unprocessed emotions, even though we numb out, what happens? They get stuck. Emotions have to come up. They have to be honored. They have to be felt. Otherwise, they get stuck in your body. And named emotions start to flow. Once you name it, you can feel it. And once you feel it, you can free it. Name it is huge. And so you've got to name it. Think about it this way. You've got to name it to tame it. I wish I could say I made that up. I did not. I don't remember who it was. Was it Carl Jung that said that? I think it's a variation on something Carl Jung said. But you've got to name it to tame it. Name it to tame it. Kind of like a wild animal. You got to know what it is first, right? Like you see an animal, like, what is it? How do I deal with it? You don't just go up and start, training it like you would a dog. In short, naming your feelings is not about wallowing in them. Now, I want you to feel them. I do want you to allow yourself the space to feel them, which we're not taught to feel. We're not taught any of this. So feel your feelings. But as you're wallowing, to me, is like you just keep going on, keep holding on to it. Naming it, to me, is like, okay, feel it, cry, scream, hit the pillow, do whatever you need, like get it out. And then, okay, what is this? What is your name? Anger, fear, disappointment. What is it? Because when you can name it, you can tame it. And so naming it is not about wallowing in them. It is about witnessing your feelings with compassion. With compassion. And that witnessing is what starts the healing process. So start by noticing. How do you feel right now? Give me one word on here that tells me how you feel right now. How do you feel? What's one word? I think learning to really honor our feelings starts with just noticing. How do I feel right now? Do I feel calm? Do I feel peaceful? Do I feel quiet? Do I feel happy? Do I feel excited for what's going to happen? Do I feel scared? Am I a little anxious? How are you feeling right now? Put your hand on your heart and just sit and ask yourself, how do I feel right now? Because when we start to normalize naming our emotions, this is the first step to freedom. And I don't just mean name the hard ones. Name the good ones too. You want to know when you feel peaceful. You want to know when you feel happy. Oh, I feel happy right now. Okay, this is what it feels like. This also says that the positive emotions are safe. I know sometimes feeling, if we've normalized like numbing out from all the scary, angry, negative emotions, sometimes feeling the positive emotions can feel scary. And so I think normalizing our emotions as a whole, all of them, all of our emotions, because our emotions are simply trying to guide us. Our emotions are really important to us because they tell us where we are, how we're doing, what's going on. It's like they're a barometer. They're our checkpoint, and they're our guidepost back to ourselves. And when we don't allow them, we're just in this like numb, survival, like, oh, like I'm just okay. Have you know? Well, actually, I'm not even going to bring that up. But start by noticing how you are feeling. And so I invite you to really, if you do journal about your emotions. Really start to notice, how do I feel today? We're going to talk more about this as we move through this process, but really getting in touch with our emotions and acknowledging them and writing about them. Maybe I know that there are apps you can get. One of my kids has an app that has like a smiley face. Like you rate how are you today? Were you a big smile today? Or were you like, Were you, not feeling it today? Were you struggling? Like, how are you? And just really start to check in. I think starting to notice our emotions doesn't necessarily mean just start to notice them when there's a conflict. It means start tapping in to what is your norm? Where do you want to be? And just notice what is going on, what is happening. But close your eyes for a minute, put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What am I feeling right now? And then ask yourself, how do I want to feel? How do you want to feel? Most of us don't even know. Most of us don't even know. We're so used to just running on autopilot, we don't stop long enough to think about, how do I want to feel? What would feel good right now? So I invite you to think about that today. Now tomorrow, we're going to dive into step 2 of the emotional reset method. Today was step 1, and this is the first key. Name it is the first step in this method. It is a 4-step method, so join me tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to give you step 2. And I invite you to share this with a friend or 2 friends or your family. Share this with anybody you think would enjoy it, who needs this series. Save this live, come back to it, watch the replay, bookmark it, whatever you need to do. But join me tomorrow, because step 2 is going to really, it just compounds, right? The first step is the first step. And it's a good one, but you got to have the whole thing to understand. So it's a 4-step method. So join me live, plan to join me live for the next 4 days at 12 p.m. Eastern Time every day. And come back and watch the replay. But drop a comment below if this helped you, if you're looking forward to step 2, give me one word that tells me how you're feeling today. And let's feel it to heal it. Our feelings are not wrong. We were born to feel our feelings and feel all of them and not to be afraid of them. So I encourage you to share this with anybody you think would enjoy it. Ladies, I love you all. Thank you for being here with me, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah. Bye.